Hi guys, I'm back on to do another live psychic Q&A. If anybody's tuning in and you have a question, I'll just start this reading with just like I'll tap into the collective energy and see what's going on and see what kind of help people need right now. I mean, I see a lot of people like organizing their lives, like trying to sort out what's truly important right now. There's something else attached to that. Also, it feels like these like kind of bubbles of pleasure, like moments of like good times. Like I guess like 'cause where I live, it's summertime still. So people are trying to like, no matter how busy your life is, like trying to get a piece of that, like be enjoy the moment. Like even if they're just a bunch of tiny moments, like collectively, like it's like feeling good. Like let's say you can't get away to the country or whatever, like you take time to like have a picnic in a park, or even if it's 15 minutes, it's better than nothing kind of thing. So that's the kind of feeling I'm getting where people are just trying to like make the most of what they can actively do to like enjoy their life in like little pieces here and there. And it takes some organization and willingness to like live in the moment, which like cuts the stream of like the narrative that everybody's kind of just going down. Like, let's say someone's narrative is like today's a work day, and they might think like it's going to be the same as every other day, kind of thing. But you're going to on purpose carve out 15 minutes of like nature time, and like whether it's sitting on a bench near a tree. I feel like, there's like the news, and then there's your internet. So how much are you running your life based on what other people are saying and the news? And how much are you running your life from like the real cable channel, which is your intuition, right? How much credit do you give your intuition? I mean, if you're tuning into this broadcast, then probably you are. But like, try to really see that like the weight of the information that you get from like TV, internet, like stuff other people made, which is like a lot of stuff. Um, and how much are you listening to like your own like connection with the universe, which can sometimes feel like, if you're kind of new to it, confusing and like this, what is this even? Like, what are these feelings and guidance that I feel like it doesn't fit in with regular life? And that's right, because it's not regular life and it's not of this frequency, right? So you have to start being more comfortable living on like multiple frequencies simultaneously. So, and you have to know that like the stuff that you pick up intuitively is for you. Like stuff that you see on the internet and whatever, like, or on like cable TV or like the news or whatever, that's like, those are messages that went through many people's personality filters. Like, you know, it's not like pure information. So while it might be of some interest, like you really need to like put a lot of more emphasis on getting comfortable using your own intuition. And even if it doesn't make sense, and it makes sense that you wouldn't be able to understand it, because like it's like comparing a rock to water, right? And you can pick up a rock and say like, this is what this is, but if you try to pick up water in its liquid form, it just all falls out of your hand, and you can't like show it to someone, or you can show some drips, I guess, or like whatever you can manage to hold, like, in one hand. But, it's it's really not the same, and, like, don't don't force yourself to try to, like, intellectualize it, because the intellectual mind is not the, like, receiver of, this type of, like, intuitive information. I think it has some kind of, like, I think intuition and psychic ability has this sort of, like, backdoor kind of, like, what? Surprising, like, let's say you're running a shop and you're expecting all the customers to come in, like, through the front door and, like, it's a predictable exercise, right? But then all of a sudden, like, from behind the shop, like, someone comes in and, like, totally changes everything up, and you're like, "What?" And that's what, like, a psychic intuition kind of feels like. It's an interruption of the normal story and seemingly not, like, necessarily aligned with that story, because it's, like, oftentimes giving you, like, a roadmap to, like, something else or something to look out for that you wouldn't have even been worried about, let's say. So, I really the long and the short of it is, like, yes, there's a lot of material out there that you could spend a lifetime, like, you could spend a lifetime just looking at, like, videos about the '80s or something, like, your entire life could be taken up with that, but it's not, like, gonna really serve you as much as, like, listening to your intuition, and it might seem, like, less easy, but the more you get into listening to your intuition, the easier it becomes, and then after a while, it's just, like, functioning without you having to stress, or, like, it doesn't feel like a chore, and it doesn't feel confusing anymore. So, that's, like, the advice I pick up, the most right now, aside from, like, enjoying make these little pockets, even if they're 5 minutes, like like I don't work in, a cubicle, but, like, even if you took, like, 30 seconds to jot something down in your journal, or, like, acknowledge, like, this vision you have of something you could do, even if, like, at this moment, you don't have the means or the time to, like, make it happen, you're taking that stuff seriously and nurturing it, and by taking that time, that is like planting a seed, and the stability of, like, your relationship with the universe is really strong, and so because you decided to engage with that inspiration that you had, even for 30 seconds, um, you're giving it permission to grow, like, you're sort of shining your light on that and letting it grow in, like, the soil of the universe, if you wanna, like, take that further. Um, so in these little tiny moments of connection and taking your own self seriously are like what I said in the last reading, like, if you think of geometry, like, we're walking down a certain direction and we just take, like, a slight variation. This variation will take us, you know, just a shift in even 1% of an angle is gonna, take us somewhere completely else, and you're making those shifts every time you take your shifts. Every time you, pay attention to your intuition and, like, take your own self seriously, you can't, like, ask other people to say, like, "Am I valid? Are my dreams worth anything?" Like, if you it I say to some clients sometimes, like, it's like throwing a steak to a pack of dogs, like, they're just gonna tear it up, like, they don't know what to do with your dreams because 'cause they're your dreams. So they're just gonna be like, "What you just said is confusing to me, and I reject it out of hand." So don't ask permission for people to have these dreams or have these, like, high aspirations for yourself, and, Um, it's between you and the universe or you and God, like however you want to like describe the energy of like all that is, right? That you can connect with. Uh, anyway, so that's like my collect advice for the collective is like enjoy these moments, nurture your ideas and intuition, and it's not something that you need to like before it's finished. You don't really need to share it with the public until you finish it. And yeah, okay. So hi, yeah. So if you have a question, um, I can look at it for you. And in the meantime, I'm just going to continue like looking at the collective for a second. Yeah, so I feel like the powers that be create a narrative for our society so that we can like have something to react to like gather up against and whatever. And it like takes up our time and energy to like be part of that narrative. So again, like I'm just underlining again, like there's like the noise from the world, and then there's the positive kind of noise from your intuition that is like uh, a more loving source of like a more direct form of information that is like gonna more quickly in a snakes and ladders kind of way, just like get you to the top quicker, where you feel right, where you feel like yourself and everything like that. So just try not to get too distracted with like the collective narrative in the world. Okay. Okay, love you, my twin flame. Soon. Okay. So I feel like um correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of feel like you should have higher standards. It's possible that this person who you might feel like in a very strong bond with isn't necessarily like your twin flame, but they don't seem to have like full range of like kind of ninja capabilities that like someone who's like ascended would have. Um, they like you, and they also are like like up to their eyeballs in like family like history and like just mortal identity, you know what I mean, like not a hyper spiritual person. I'm just trying to see like what they're offering you. Like I feel like that Tyler gives you like a very pure type of friendship, which is really nice. But I don't feel that like they're in a place to like stand firm like a tree and like plant themselves in your life. Um, I'm not denying like the beauty of the friendship whatsoever, but that can I know it's like hard to find in general, but it's not impossible to find with other people. And I feel like in your own personal energy, you have some like a little bit of like self-loathing um to clear. And so like your relationship with Tyler is a reflection of how you feel about yourself and the inner dialogue you have with yourself. So you need to like clean up those conversations you're having with yourself and just go like just go like, oh my God, like I'm so amazing and beautiful. And look how I fought for goodness in my life in this situation and that. And like look at these like positive choices I made down the road that like led me to good things, and just like really take that conversation inward, and then the mirror of life will reflect that back in the world. If you're seeing some stuck energy, it's because it's like 100% a reflection of your inner dialogue. I'm just gonna put my glasses on and see what you wrote. Um, okay. Um, Even if, and I do feel like what I said like before, like I do feel this pure energy coming from him. Like so I'll agree with the purity of that feeling is spiritual. Like it's like a good, it's like unconditional love. Like I get that. So that would, if you feel guided, if your guides are telling you that he's your twin flame, like that's all fine and good. But like in terms of your first question about getting, when is he gonna come to you and all that stuff, like your inner work will then create this like energetic shift in him that will give him the strength to like make necessary changes in his life to then match you. But you're actually keeping him in this position of being away from you and unenlightened by not like fully like accepting responsibility for the energy that you have going on within yourself. And have you completely unpacked it? Like have you done like a Marie Kondo on your inner life, like in your inner talk, and just lay them all out, like lay out all the shirts and the stuff you got at thrift shops, like in of your ideas and in your mind, and like your family stuff, like frenemy issues, like whatever, just lay it all out, like pieces of clothing in a giant living room, and just go like, okay, and just stand in the middle at first, like you're not gonna take anything. Like maybe you're just gonna like walk right out of that house and into a new house and a new empty house where you're gonna create and only bring in things that like are custom made for you. You know, I only items that bring you joy, you know. But if there is something in this like pile of stuff in this that you've laid out all your possessions, like all your thoughts, like if there's something like truly that's like a battery of love and stuff, like then take that. But maybe you're only taking like one or two or three things with you. Um, because your level of like your need to transform is like that great. Uh, um, so I'll just try to tune it based on like, let's say you're gonna do this work. I'm just gonna look ahead and see like how that. Yeah, like so it's the difference between him waking up and putting on Crocs and like a beer t-shirt as he might be feeling right now. And then seeing you in this transformed energy where it's like you don't need other people to save you. You don't need anyone to tell you how great you are, who you are. You know, you know all that. You've like met yourself. You've met yourself in this living room where you collected all this junk and some good things, but some stuff you really don't need, and some stuff that really doesn't reflect who you truly are. So once you do that and you move into like your new kind of mansion that is like truly you with all the, you know, you go into your walk-in closet where like everything is just perfect. You know, the artwork on the walls is like perfect. The view out the window is perfect. You know, and then that makes Tyler want to like wear a suit and come visit you with dignity and like purpose, you know? So that's like my answer to that question. Um, well, yeah, that's what I was just talking about. Like feeling like you're not from here. Like what I was saying, I don't know if you tuned in a bit later after I started, but in order to live properly, right? Like, we have to accept that we're multidimensional. Like, you have your 3D life, like, okay, I'm wearing this shirt today, there's cars driving by, whatever. Um, that's our 3D life. We also are capable of having dreams and thoughts. Those are non-physical, also real things on another like dimension that we're in contact with right now, you know. And then with source energy, like things can be, limitless. So it's like, do you put your mind to just super basic vibrations? Or are you open to everything and like just because you may have stronger intuition than some people, it doesn't make you weird. It makes them be like people who are just only living in this one frequency, and it's comfortable. It's like a dirty old couch that like was passed down to you from a family member, and it's like, oh, I remember grandpa used to love this couch or whatever. It's like, yeah, but like now we're wanting things to improve. We're wanting to like change some family patterns that are sick and stuff, and we want to like actually enjoy our lives and not be so predictable. And we want to surprise ourselves and be unlimited, right? So we need to go like, yes, that was the family couch, but like I have a mansion now, like where, and it doesn't have to be like huge and expensive. It's just beautiful and right in every way. Maybe it's like a beautiful tree house and next to a forest reserve or something, like whatever to you seems like reflects who you truly are inside, and don't apologize for having this like very rich experience on other frequencies. I don't know if I can talk. Um, so like you're right, you're not from here if you're able to like really nurture these higher dimensional parts of yourself, which is normal, because that's like what life is. Like we didn't invent spirituality. Like people have been talking about this stuff since the beginning of time. So it's nothing new. The only thing that makes it weird is like the suppression and oppression of people who practice this and who like talk about it. So that's been scary in the past. And even though we're in the 21st century, people can still go like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, dude, what have people been talking about since the beginning of talking? Like spirituality. So like, it's like the most stupid argument on earth is to like question spirituality because like when have people not talked about that? Like never. Anyway. Um so okay, well I'm glad that you like my answers and stuff. And because like I guess everybody's still sleeping off their hangover from Friday. I'll just like, and I think I gave like a good message at the top if people would watch this later. So thank you for tuning in, and it was a pleasure helping you right now. And I'll do another live like sometime. I don't know. Okay, have a good day.